Do you remember how last week where I didn't, not last week, last video, how I didn't know what to say? Well, this week, I don't know what to say, but for a different reason. Okay, so going to a trophy list video for you today, and thank the heavens, I believe we are onto a decent list. After last week's horror show, this is what I needed. We have got El Wakas from good old Canada with 242 platinums. But before we get into the stats and all of those platinums, I just want to say a huge thank you for all the love and support, specifically in that last video. The comments popped off. 99% of you saw the humour in it, and a couple of you who I absolutely 100% agree with couldn't stomach the list and outright said, this isn't what I've came here for. So, yeah, I'm with you, I hear you. And because of that, I'm most likely going to skip any future lists that are anything close to the last video's list. It was just filled with utter trash, and you know it prolongs seeing people's lists that are actually proud to be shown, unlike leaderboard filled crap. So yeah, speaking of the list as well, we are making headway. The end is in sight. It's still a far way off, but if there are potentially some bad ones in that list that I do skip, then we could be closer to the end than we think. And on the Discord, I've got about 6 people that have asked if I'm still doing submissions, so might be opening them up again soon. Well, let's get into this list anyway. El Wakas, as I said, 242 platinums, 1113th in Canada, 26,572nd in the world. Game ranks, mainly S's and A's, a few B's, C's, D's, E's, no F's, so fair play on that. Trophies, we got 242 platinums, as I've said twice, golds 993, silvers 2,553, bronze 8,503. So a nice mixture. I'm confident. We got 292 ultra rare trophies, which you love to see. So I think, like I said, I think we're onto a winner this time. Mainly PS4, a good mixture of PS5s and PS6s in there as well. So top of the list, we've got 198X or 1980X. 5 out of 10, 16 hours, 6.45%. If you don't know this game, it's like an old school beat 'em up. Think not Dungeons and Dragons. My mind's gone blank. We've just started. Double Dragon. Streets of Rage. Why didn't I say that one first? Streets of Rage. Absolute banger game. As you can see by the trophies, mainly golds and silvers, but it's a banger. A Way Out next. Perfect. Absolutely brilliant co-op game, as I've always said. Alice Madness Returns next. 3 out of 10, 20 hours, 14.24% on that one on the PS3. I wish they'd make this available for PS5, PS4 and PS5. It's a game I've really wanted to play. I don't own it currently, but I keep seeing it for the PS3. But yeah, I'm just too invested in my PS5 currently. We've then got a whole host of Assassin's Creeds. So we got 2, 3, Black Flag, Odyssey, Origins, Revelations, Shadows, Syndicate, and Unity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 noises. Black Flag obviously sticks out like a sore thumb, and Assassin's Creed 3, both in the 4%. I mean, yeah. Assassin's Creed, it's rinse and repeat. Obviously, they changed the formula a little bit as time's gone on. Not 100% sure on Shadows. That's the only one of them that I've never seen any gameplay for. But considering that the platinum is a 33.79%, suggests that while it's 70 hours, it's an easy one. Astrobot Rescue Mission, I believe that's the VR game. but 12.93 on that. And then we got normal Astro's Playroom. Everyone should have this by now. If not, go and get it. We've got Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Knight, and Batman the Telltale series. Nice, nice, and nice. Arkham Knight being 4 out of 10, 40 hours, 6.54% on that one. Battlefield 1, nice, 4 out of 10, 30 hours, 6.38%. We got the daddy of Souls-like games, Bloodborne, 8 out of 10, 50 hours, sitting at 22.11%. Under 1 in 5, over 1 in 5. Over 1 in 5 have this platinum, and that is a platinum that I know I wouldn't be able to do it. Well, I don't know, I just don't have the time to give it a shot. Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, and Borderlands the pre-sequel. Pre-sequel and 2 absolute bangers. 3.26 on the pre-sequel, 5.72 on Borderlands 2. The third installment, absolute trash. So far, from what I've played of Borderlands 4, it's a lot better. Not quite Borderlands 2 levels, but better than 3. We then got Brink, banger of a game, 4 out of 10, 15 hours, 4.37% on the PS3. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I loved it. We've then got a few Call of Duties, so we got Black Ops 4, Cold War, twice, Black Ops 3, World War 2. Yeah, very nice. If you saw the video that I released last week about the rare, ultra rare platinums, I made a comment that all Call of Duties are ultra rare, and this confirms that. Black Ops 4 though, my god, 7 out of 10, 150 hours, 0.56%. Black Ops 3, 8 out of 10, 100 hours, 0.80%. World War 2, 6 out of 10, 70 hours, 1.4%. I mean, dear God. Fair play, El Wakas, fair play. We then move on, Castle Crashers, 5 out of 10, 20 hours, 7.58% on that one. A game I've been looking at recently. It's I did a video a few weeks back, Big Helmet Heroes. Very similar kind of game. A lot easier than 5 out of 10 and a 20 hour though, in my opinion. Chivalry 2, 5 out of 10, 40 hours, 3.70% on that one. Nice. I've played Chivalry 2, not played a lot of it. Conan Exiles, 7 out of 10, 50 hours, 18.35%. Have noticed that it says 50 hours, but you got it in 3 hours and 6 minutes, so I'm guessing there must be some sort of like workaround. We then got Crash Bandicoot 1 and 3, I believe that is. 7 out of 10, 18 hours, 4 out of 10, 15 hours, 8.86 and 9.26%. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7, 5 out of 10, 40 hours, 30.91%. Surprised that that's as high as that is, but that be the case. Cult of the Lamb, fantastic game, 3 out of 10, 50 hours, 17.30%. We've then got Cuphead, 7 out of 10, 30 hours, 17.41%, and he's done the DLC, which includes mine's gone blank again. I'll blame that last list. It's just completely scrambled the brain. Scrambled egg up there. But yeah, what is it? The last course or delicious last course? I don't know. I'm just chatting pup. Siberian, the time traveling warrior, 3 out of 10, 30 hours, nice. I say nice, it's under an hour. Actually, that's 30 hours, 55 minutes. El Wakas, you need to explain yourself. I don't think, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think you're doing anything dodgy. I'm sure it's like perfectly normal workarounds for the 2 games I've seen, but yeah, reveal your secrets. Daggerhood, Yeah. We got Dark Souls Remastered 2 free. Banger, banger, banger. All high percentages. What the hell? Dark Souls Remastered, 8 out of 10, 70 hours, 29.51%. And that's PSNP percentage as well. The hell. Days Gone, nice, 4 out of 10, 60 hours, 24.44%. Dead by Daylight, 6 out of 10, 150 hours, 2.27%. Very, very nice. I was considering going for this not too long back. And yeah, the game has changed a hell of a lot since I last played it, and I don't like it. Dead Island 2, 3 out of 10, 30 hours, 28.70. Deadpool, nice, 4 out of 10, 30 hours, 9.79%. We then got Death Stranding, 3 out of 10, 100 hours, 13.37%. Very, very nice. Deliver Us the Moon, fantastic game. One that I just cannot bring myself to finish. To platinum. Finished the game, just can't be bothered to go into the mission select and finish the rest of it off. But 2 out of 10, 8 hours, 34.92%. Demon Souls, 7 out of 10, 40 hours, 20.27%. Really nice. We then got Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Destiny 2 twice, but it looks like you've done the exact same thing that happened with me. You put it on your PS5 to do some DLC and it auto-popped. Sucks, but that be the case. Destiny 1, 7 out of 10, 100 hours, 6.30%. Destiny 2, we'll go with the PS4 one, 6 out of 10, 200 hours, 8.70%. Nice. Detroit Become Human, banger game, 3 out of 10, 20 hours, 12.44%. We've then got Diablo, don't ask what that was. We've then got Diablo 3 and Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. One on the PS3, the other on the PS4. Very, very nice. 7.07 on the PS3 stack. And Diablo 4, 8 out of 10, 150 hours, 12.44% for that one. Dishonored 2, 5 out of 10, 35 hours, 8.76. Nice. DNF Duel. I'm not 100% sure what this is, but I believe it's a fighter. There's no guide, but it's a 4.65%, so fair effing play. We then got Doom and Doom Eternal, nice and nice. 3 out of 10, 25 hours, 9.74. Eternal, 4 out of 10, 30 hours, 8.96. I'm sorry, I'm just really, really happy that this isn't filled with utter trash. Like, you have no idea how much better that I feel right now. Or other than the fact that I've got a bit of a chest infection, which I'm dying to cough for the 70th time this morning. We then got Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Xenoverse, Xenoverse 2, and Kakarot. 5 out of 10, 70 hours, 5 out of 10, 100 hours, 4 out of 10, 60 hours, 3 out of 10, 40 hours. Fighter Z, 2.83, Xenoverse, 3.17, Xenoverse 2, 5.82, and Kakarot coming in with a 28.89. Yes, sir. We then got Dying Light, 5 out of 10, 50 hours, 6.32% on that bad boy. I've said it before, Quarantine Zone's bugged on me, and it peed me off so much that I've never gone back to it. No idea how you pronounce that. Eden Chronicle Rising, 3 out of 10, 20 hours, that's sitting at a 44.89. Elden Ring, 6 out of 10, 65 hours, 38.24. We then got Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, 10 out of 10, 60 hours, 1.90% on that bad boy. Fallout 4, nice, 3 out of 10, 60 hours, 10.47. We then got Far Cry 4, 5, 6, Primal, and New Dawn. Nice, 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 and nice. Far Cry is Far Cry. Far Cry 5 being the rarest of the lot. 3 out of 10, 25 hours, 12.86% on that one. We then got Final Fantasy, the first one. I'm guessing this, well, so I'm guessing, I know This one's from the Pixel Remaster, 3 out of 10, 15 hours, 71.65%. Quite a high percentage for something that, you know, it can be, like, it's the easiest one out of the lot, but one slight mistake can ruin the whole run. Final Fantasy 7 next. I mean, why not? Because, yeah, Final Fantasy 7. 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 23.52. We've then got Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Well, Remake and Rebirth. Remake twice. You mad lad. Remake twice on the PS4 and PS5, and then Rebirth on the PS5. But Rebirth, 8 out of 10, 200 hours, 12.59%. Absolute mad lad. I love Final Fantasy 7. I played Rebirth the day it came out. I don't think I put it down like for about a week. Just non-stop. Every single minute that I could play, I was on it. And I saw the platinum requirements and I was just like, nope. Remake on the PS4, 5 out of 10, 60 hours, 12.39. So surprisingly, that's just a little bit under Rebirth. But like a third of the time. Final Fantasy 10, what the hell? 5 out of 10, 110 hours, 8.74. And then we got 15, 3 out of 10, 80 hours, 19.55. Game of Thrones, 4 out of 10, 25 hours, 44.97. That's the Telltale game. Gauntlet, 5 out of 10, 50 hours, 2.12%. Fair play. Ghost of Tsushima, 3 out of 10, 50 hours, 40.88%. One that I just got bored of. But fair play. We got God of War original and like reboot. God of War 2, God of War 3, and Ragnarok. Nice, 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 and okay. Gotham Knights, 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 16.78. We then got Grand Theft Auto 5, 4 out of 10, 200 hours, 2.02%. Very, very nice, sir. Gris, another one that I just can't... I've completed the game, I just couldn't be bothered to go back and get the platinum. 2 out of 10, 5 hours, 47.95%. Guilty Gear Strive Fighter, 6 out of 10, 10 hours, 8.69%. Nice. El Wakas, Guitar Hero Live, 7 out of 10, 100 hours, 0.75%. You absolute beast. We then got Guns, Gore and Cannoli 2, 3 out of 10, 5 hours, 52.92. We've then got Jason! Heavy Rain, 3 out of 10, 20 hours, 11.94. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, 2 out of 10, 8 hours, 34.75. Helldivers 2, banger game, 6 out of 10, 75 hours, 15.57%. High on Life, 3 out of 10, 15 hours, 24.11%. Hogwarts Legacy, 3 out of 10, 50 hours, 21.40%. The Merlin Trials, I've said it before, I will say it forever. Those Merlin Trials just did my fruiting. Hollow Knight, 9 out of 10, 100 hours, 8.85%. Nice. I just want to slow it down a second. After last week's trash, El Wakas, you didn't have to go this hard. But, mate, banger list so far. Absolute banger. Horizon Zero Dawn, 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 26.97. Human Fall Flat, 4 out of 10, 10 hours, 6.80%. One that I've been looking at a bit recently. Immortals Phoenix Rising, 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 23.64. We've then got Infamous, Infamous 2, First Light and Second Son, so the quadrilogy. OG Infamous on the PS3, 10.19%. The rest are considerably higher. Injustice 2, 4 out of 10, 40 hours, 1.78%. And the DLC of 1.04%, so very, very nice. Ink Explosion, no idea, but should we say trash? Come on, every list's got to have at least a bit of trash. It Takes Two, 3 out of 10, 15 hours, nice. Jusant, 2 out of 10, 7 hours, 41.66. Kingdom Hearts 2, 6 out of 10, 90 hours, 13.62% on that bad boy. Life is Strange, 1 out of 10, 10 hours, 31.70%. I still am yet to play it. It is no longer installed on my PlayStation. I deleted it to make room, and I just can't bring myself to play it. Live Alive or Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive, whatever the hell this is called. 25.57% on that bad boy. Lollipop Chainsaw, the OG one on PS3, 4 out of 10, 30 hours, 13.47. We then move on to Maneater, 2 out of 10, 12 hours, 39.69%. Nice. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, banger game, 3 out of 10, 20 hours, 26.94. We got Spider-Man and Miles Morales, both bangers, both in the 40%, which is just shocking to me. Mega Man X Legacy Collection, 4 out of 10, 20 hours, 22.48%. We then move on to Mercenary Kings, 5 out of 10, 50 hours, 1.38%. I believe I own this digitally. And yeah, I doubt I'm going to be playing it anytime soon. But fair play. We then got Metal Gear Solid, and then Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. OG Metal Gear Solid, obviously not the OG one, the remastered version. 12.48. Snake Eater, 12.11, and The Phantom Pain, 4.82% on that bad boy. And I got to give you props, because I actually watched a streamer do Phantom Pain recently. Shout out to MrLeeNingVs, also goes by the name Played to Completion on YouTube. He did this platinum, and it looked utter soul destroying. It would have been for me, but fair play to MrLeeNingVs. He smashed through it, and fair play to you, El Wakas. Smashed right on through. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, 3 out of 10, 25 hours, 15.34%. Mirror's Edge Catalyst, 5 out of 10, 30 hours, 7.92. MLB The Show, 3 out of 10, 2.5 hours, 20.5%. That's the baseball game, I believe. Bye! We've then got Mortal Kombat 1, 11 twice, and Mortal Kombat 10. Mortal Kombat 1, 10.52. I stopped because of the sidekick backup character XP. It was just taking so long to level them up, and I was like, nope, can't be bothered. 11, banger. 6.30 being the rarer of the two stacks. And Mortal Kombat 10, 4 out of 10, 50 hours, 1.32%, and 0.84% on the DLC as well. We got Moss, 3 out of 10, 7 hours, 7.70%. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. No guide, but 17.35% on that bad boy. Need for Speed and Need for Speed Rivals, nice and nice. Rivals being a 4 out of 10, 25 hours, 7.28%. We got Nier Automata, 3 out of 10, 60 hours, 28.59%. That's when you know a game is a banger. If it's like, you know, high hours, but it's still got a chunk of people that have got the platinum. Banger game. Neo and Neo 2, both 5 out of 10s. One takes 80 hours, the other one takes 70. 12.23, 80.22. Nobody Saves the World, 3 out of 10, 35 hours, 15.57. Operation Tango, 2 out of 10, 5 hours, 24.54. We got a double stack of Outriders. Looks like one was, I don't know what that is. What? I don't know. 6 minutes and 33 seconds on the one, so I'm guessing most of the trophies moved over and just had to do a couple of bits for the other one. Bit of a shame, but the OG, or the legit stack of them, 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 23.91. Overcooked, all you can eat, 3 out of 10, 15 hours, 11.29. We got Persona 5, 3 out of 10, 150 hours, 8.85%. That's the OG Persona 5, not the Royale version, which is considerably easier. Police Simulator, 2 out of 10, 20 hours, 8.34%. Prey, absolutely fantastic game, 4 out of 10, 45 hours, 5.08. Prince of Persia, 2 out of 10, 15 hours, 10.04. That's the one on PS3. Prince of Persia The Lost Crown for PS5, 4 out of 10, 25 hours, 35.31%. I'm going to have a drink because like I say, I'm still not 100%. I'm battling a chesty cough. And yes, that was a fat bottle of Pepsi. Right. Quake 2, banger game. 2 out of 10, 6 hours, 37.15%. Ratchet & Clank and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, banger, and absolutely insane banger. I'm pretty sure that used to be more than 10 hours. It definitely took me more than 10 hours, but it might have been because I was just admiring how amazing it looked on the PS5. Resident Evil. Oh, okay. Whoa. Whack-ass. Come on. Let's go. So we got Resident Evil 2, twice, legit. Resident Evil 3, twice, one was an auto-pop. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, twice, legit. Resident Evil 6, looks like twice legit. Resident Evil 7, twice legit. Revelations 2, and Village. That's, mate, that's every numbered entry plus the 2 Revelations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoa. Oh, we can't count. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Resident Evil Platinum completions. You absolute RESI-GOD. 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Is it any surprise that this is one that I've got? 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. You know, these aren't easy games. Some people would argue that the 3 out of 10 is easy. But, you know, some of these take some actual legwork. Fair effing play. The OG Resi, 6.33%. Resi Evil 6 on the PS3, 9.84%. Revelations, 8.69%. Revelations 2, 3.07%. Absolute RESI-GOD. And speaking of Resi, we got RESI-GOD. 5 out of 10, 10 hours, 9.88%. Returnal, 6 out of 10, 50 hours, 12.05%. Riders Republic next, 4 out of 10, 55 hours, 3.18%. That was a game that... What the... Whack-ass! Road Bustle! Disgust me. But yeah, back to what I was on about. Riders Republic. I actually really enjoyed the demo when I gave it a try. I just never ended up getting the game in the end. But what is this doing here, mate? What the hell? Road Bustle, 97.6. We move on. We got Rocket League, 2 out of 10, 50 hours, 17.50. Saints Row, 3 out of 10, 45 hours, 10.68%. You poor soul. for giving that trash a go. Sultan Sacrifice, nice. And then we got Sultan Sanctuary. I didn't even know that these were together. I knew that both games existed, but I just never made the connection. But fair play. Both pretty hard games, in my opinion. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Nice. 3 out of 10, 20 hours, 5% flat. One that I played a long time ago and absolutely sucked at it. But I've beaten a lot of beat-em-ups recently. I must beat-em-ups. Beat-em-ups is like Streets of Rage, innit? Fighters is 1v1. I don't know, I forget. Sea of Stars, 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 17.32%. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, 7 out of 10, 60 hours, 28.72. Shadow of the Colossus, 6 out of 10, 40 hours, 7.14. Bad boy. Skylanders Swap Force, Skylanders Trap Team. I have absolutely no idea that 2 different versions of Skylanders existed, but 2.89% on Swap Force, 7.69 on Trap Team. Soul Calibur 6, 5.74% on that bad boy, 4 out of 10, 30 hours. Safe Park, The Fractured Butthole, and The Stick of Truth. Nice and nice. Squirrel with a Gun, because why not? 2 out of 10, 6 hours, 35.32%. 3 out of 10, 30 hours, 20.28% on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We got Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, 4 out of 10, 40 hours, 28.12% on that bad boy. Stray, greatest cat game ever made, 3 out of 10, 8 hours, 25.34%. We got Street Fighter 6, 5 out of 10, 50 hours, 5.40%. Streets of Rage 4, 6 out of 10, 25 hours, 7.72% on that. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, because some people just love punishment. 4 out of 10, 50 hours, 12.93. Tales from the Borderlands, Telltale game, 2 out of 10, 12 hours, 49.57. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, and Shredder's Revenge twice, and the Cowabunga collection, one of which looks... it does say 2 hours on the guide, so no. All done legit, I think. But Mutants in Manhattan, 6 out of 10, 65 hours, 2.36%. Nice. Shredder's Revenge, 7.5 out of 10, 15 hours, 7.49% on that bad boy. And Cowabunga Collection, much higher, 32.30. We got Tekken 6 and Tekken 7, nice and nice. Tekken 6, 4 out of 10, 20 hours, 10.98%. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 4 out of 10, 25 hours, 11.25%. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, 9 out of 10, 150 hours, 3.07%. The Crew 2, 4 out of 10, 30 hours, 10.22%. And the Crew Motorfest, 3 out of 10, 30 hours, 16.10%. We got Little Hope and Man of Medan from the Dark Pictures Anthology. Both 2s out of 10, one 30 hours, the other 20 hours. Man of Medan being the quicker and easier, well, not both easy, the quicker one to platinum, 5.87%. The Last of Us Part 1, 6 out of 10 for 60 hours, 38.77. The Legend of Korra, never heard of it, but I'm sure it's a fantastic game, 4 out of 10, 15 hours, 19.66. The Messenger, 4 out of 10, 15 hours, 24.61. The Order 1886, 3 out of 10, 10 hours, 34.16% on that bad boy. Loved the Order 1886. The Outer Worlds, 4 out of 10, 45 hours. Nice. 7.53%. We got the Playroom VR, 3 out of 10, 5 hours, 5.64%. I'm actually surprised that there's not more people that have this one, but fair play. The Walking Dead, Telltale, probably second best one ever made, for 1 out of 10, 10 hours. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition, 7 out of 10, 110 hours, 6.89%. Whee! The Wolf Among Us, the best Telltale game, 1 out of 10, 10 hours, 54.81%. We then got Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, nice and nice, 9.23 on Dragon Keep, 17.44 on Wonderlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands next, 9.55 for a 4 out of 10, 55 hours. The Division, 5 out of 10, 60 hours, 9.43%. And The Division 2 for the PS4, 4 out of 10, 50 hours, a flat 6%. That's actually soul destroying, because The Division 2 is one of my rarest platinums. I say one of, it's not the rarest. Calm your pants. But I'm pretty sure mine's showing as like 7 or 8%. Oh well. Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark, 4 out of 10, 30 hours, 5.09%. Transistor, 4 out of 10, 15 hours, 9.88. We then got Troyan and Troyan 4, The Nightmare Princess. Prince. 2 out of 10, 13 hours, 5 out of 10, 8.5 hours, 31%, 20.61%. We got Uncharted 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm slowly making my way through these. I've never played them ever. Did a video and platinumed Uncharted 1 last year. Almost a year to the day, to be honest. I went through it on crushing difficulty straight off the bat. It was a challenge for me, but I managed it. I'm just started the second one, but it's kind of been pushed to the back of the queue because of Gears of War and Borderlands 4. And soon it'll be Silent Hill F and then Battlefield 6. There's just too many big games coming out. Undertale, 2 out of 10, 5 hours, 41.51. Unmetal, no idea, but it's a 16.67%er. Until Dawn, 2 out of 10, 15 hours, 16.02%. Valkyrie Chronicles, 3 out of 10, 35 hours, 9.76. The end is in sight. Watchdog, whoa. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, 5 out of 10, 60 hours, 12.47. That's one that I'm slowly chipping away at myself. It's whenever me and a couple of my mates can get together, we have a blast on it. Watch Dogs 1 and 2, nice and nice. Watch Dogs 1 being a 3 out of 10, 50 hours and 8.23%. What Remains of Edith Finch, 2 out of 10, 2 hours, 71.71%. Wolfenstein The New Order and The Old Blood, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 20 hours, 12 hours, 17.12%, 16.32%. We got WWE 2K24, 3 out of 10, 50 hours, 5.19% on that bad boy. 13, 3 out of 10, 8 hours, 30.79%. We got Yakuza Kiwami, 7 out of 10, 80 hours, sitting at 3.73. Yakuza Like a Dragon, 5 out of 10, 80 hours, 12.26 on that bad boy. And then we got Z-Warp, 4 out of 10, 1 hour, 81.13. Potential trash, just to finish the list off. 100%, we got The Walking Dead Season 2, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Marvel vs. Capcom Origins, Batman Arkham VR, Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle, X-Defiant, Tekken Revolution, Contra Anniversary Collection, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, Poker Night at the Inventory, and Gang Beasts. Nice, and nice. Right, so let's scroll up and see the milestones. I am very, very, very happy with that list. I salute you, Wakas, or El Wakas. 14 years ago, first platinum was God of War, because why not? 10th platinum, Infamous 2. 20th platinum was Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. 30th was The Walking Dead. 40th was Watch Dogs. 50th was, I mean, of course, it had to be. If it wasn't the 50th, it had to be 100. But Guitar Hero Live. 75, Call of Duty World War 2. 100, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. 125, Yakuza Kiwami. 150 Resident Evil 2, 175 Human Fall Flat, 200th Platinum, of course, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, 225 Yakuza Like a Dragon, and your latest Platinum was High on Life. Do you remember how last week where I didn't, not last week, last video, how I didn't know what to say? Well, this week, I don't know what to say, but for a different reason. That list was fantastic. All them Resident Evils were just insane. Absolutely insane. Rebirth, absolutely insane. Like, nah, mate. El Wakas, thank you for submitting your list. And thank you to anyone and everybody that's made it this far in the video. Hopefully I'll see you next time.